Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world, talking about a team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, so OTAs are underway, okay, and we got a lot of pressers coming out, a lot of interviews coming out. We're going to take a listen to our fearless leader on the defense, Maxx Crosby. Coming off a freshly inked contract, which is well-deserved, Maxx Crosby is not built like normal people. Okay, I'm not talking physically either. This is all mental with him. He doesn't care what he's done in the past. That's already done. He can't do anything to change that. What he wants to do is focus on what he's going to do this very next play, this very next rep, this very next day, he's worried about this, what's coming right up. He wants to be his best. The very next action that he takes, he wants to do it at his best. He's constantly trying to improve himself with any number of things. He's constantly in competition with himself, which is the type of mindset that you can't beat. If you're your harshest critic and you're the hardest worker that you can't be beat because you're always going to strive to be better, no matter what happens, no matter what the result. Now, last season wasn't the best season for Maxx Crosby. He had injuries early in the season that kind of hampered his production, and then he injured a little bit towards the midpoint, a little bit after the season, and we lost him for the last 5 games or so, and that's definitely not what Maxx Crosby wants. He doesn't want to go off the field, let alone miss games. And he missed his first game of the season early in the year, and then he went on and missed the rest of the season after week 13 or something like that. It was unfortunate because the defense really took a step back without Maxx Crosby out there. Now, that's not to say that they didn't work hard, but unfortunately, when you take away a lot of great players off of your team and off of your defensive line, it's just there's only so much you can do. If for 1 minute you think that Maxx Crosby doesn't have something left to prove right now, you have another thing coming because Maxx Crosby definitely has something to prove. First and foremost, to himself, because last year was just inexcusable. He doesn't make excuses for injuries. He doesn't make excuses for any of that stuff. Well, if he's good enough to be out there, he expects the very best out of himself. And that's the reason why he's the player that he is. He's the leader that he is. He's the example for everybody else that he is. So I would watch for Maxx Crosby to have one of his best seasons ever, if not the best season ever, because he doesn't have to carry that weight of being that emotional leader anymore. Even though he's going to do it, he's going to see that everyone around him is going to have that same mentality because that's what rolls down from the top from Pete Carroll on down. So I would watch out for Maxx Crosby to start the season hair on fire and start killing it for the defense of the Las Vegas Raiders. What we want to do is listen to a little bit of his presser right now on OTAs. But before we do, I want to make sure everyone please to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's an excellent way to support the channel. It's absolutely free to do, and it's the bare minimum you can do to support the channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video. Okay, enough of me talking. Let's get to Max. What a great logo, man.
All right, general thoughts. First day of OTAs. What do you think?
It's amazing. You know, we're having a lot of fun. It's been, how many weeks is it? I don't know, 6 weeks now? Yeah, 6 weeks in, just getting around the guys, being around Coach Carroll. A lot of new coaches, a lot of new faces, but it's been incredible. You know, it's a breath of fresh air. We've been having so much fun and getting better every single day and working our ass off. It's been a hell of a journey so far.
What's different or stands out about the way Pete runs practice as compared to all the coaches you've had in the past?
Yeah, no, it's not about what we did in the past. It's about what we're doing now. And Coach Carroll has been amazing. He's hilarious. He loves the game of football. He's obsessed with it. He makes it fun, makes it enjoyable every day you show up in the building, and that's all you can ask for. You know, he's a legendary coach. His resume speaks for itself, and just trying to learn as much as I possibly can from him.
What have you thought of Ashton Jetty?
Oh, he's been awesome. You know, Ashton's a great kid. I've been able to know him, you know, before he got drafted here. You know, we we have some of the similar people around us. Shout out to Rubicon, all my guys over there. But yeah, he's a great kid, humble kid. I think just the fact that, you know, a kid like him could have went anywhere in the country and decided to stay at Boise State and go out there and have the best career, you know, best year running back I think he's arguably ever had. It just shows, you know, the testament to the type of person he is. So it's been awesome. You know, it's only been a couple weeks with him, but love the kid. He's a hell of a worker, hell of a player, and it's excited to be teammates with him.
You talk about going hard every rep your whole career.
Of course.
Do you see that? We just asked Brock Bowers. Do you see that in a kid like that in terms of trying to make the next step after what he did last year?
I mean, it's tough. You know, he's only been here a couple weeks. It's unfair to him to make that type of judgment. You know. What are you talking about? You talking about Brock? Oh, you talking about Brock? Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about Ashton stuff. Yeah, you know, like Brock, like he came in the league and made it very, made his claim very loud and clear. He's unbelievable player. He can do everything on the field. He's dynamic, super humble kid, and he's got more to grow. He's got a lot of room to do it. You can do it for 1 year, but it's what are you going to do the next year? And that's he's that type of person. Brock is never somebody you have to worry about if he's going to show up on time or if he's going to work hard. He's just a humble football guy to the core. So more guys you have like that on the team, the better chance you got of winning. So yeah, I got nothing but good things to say about Brock and him getting his degree as well. It's a really cool accomplishment. Something I plan on doing here soon too.
Maxx, there's a noticeable different level of energy on the field, especially with Pete Carroll, the way he runs things. What can you say to that energy and how it kind of fuels the guys?
It's just awesome. Every day is like, we talk about competition, and that's real. Everything we do, we're competing, no matter if it's in the meetings, no matter if it's in the individual meetings, no matter if we're in the weight room. Like, it's truly a competition in everything we do, but we're having fun with it, and it's about winning. Like, if you're a competitor truly to the core, like, this is exactly where you want to be. And I know, I feel like I'm the best, the top competitor in the world at what I do. You know what I mean? So I love it, and that energy keeps me fueled at all times. And Pete is constantly testing me. He's testing other guys on the team, and he just wants to see the guys be the best versions of themselves. And he's true to that. It's not fake energy. It's every day. He's the same guy, and it's not just him. It's the assistant coaches, the whole building. It just feels different, and it's definitely been amazing.
Maxx, what was it like getting Malcolm back after he wasn't able to compete last year?
I'm so excited. Malcolm's, on his way back from the rehab, and like I said before, like Malcolm is literally one of the best teammates I've ever had. He's a great kid. He's all about ball. He loves football, and he's a worker. You know what I mean? He's another guy. Like he reminds me of Brock in that way. Like he's not gonna, talk your ear off. He's a quiet kid, super humble. Came from nothing, and just shows up to work every day with the mindset to get better and just constantly asking questions. So more guys you got like Malcolm Kuntz, like I said again, like you're gonna have a chance. So I miss him. Like I said, he's the best running mate I've ever had, and I can't wait for him to be back on the field with me.
What are your first thoughts?
The defense did today, phase 3.
It was amazing. It was a great day. We're constantly emphasizing taking the ball away, and we did that last couple of days. So it's been a lot of fun. It's like you said, like that energy is contagious. Football, you could have all the X's and O's. You could be the smartest guy on the planet, but when it really comes down to it, when it's really nut cutting time, like it's truly who's going to execute better and who's willing to go farther. And that's what I preach to my guys. I know that's what they're preaching on the team. Like by week 10, week 12, everyone knows exactly what the hell you like to run. Everyone knows what plays you like to run, what scheme you're running. It's about who's willing to really sacrifice and go to that length. And that's why I feel like, the cream always rises to the top. That's what people, it sounds cliche, but it's real. Like there's a reason why, guys come out the gate looking amazing and then all of a sudden you don't hear their name again. It's the guys that do it every single day that, over the course of a season, by the, week 17, week 18, and then playoffs, it's the same guys being, putting those on those pedestals, and so if you have a team, a collective of guys that are constantly pushing themselves to that level, not just offensively but defensively too, like Gino is a great leader. You got a guy like Genty coming in, Jacoby Myers is a prime example. The dude he's always working, and you have a bunch of dogs on the field that are willing to go to the farthest length to win. You're gonna have a chance.
What does it mean to you to get back out here after the injury?
It's amazing. It's been truly. I feel like a little kid out there. You know what I mean? I miss it. The rehab started in December. I didn't have an off season. You know what I mean? I've been here the whole time. It's been 5 months of hardcore training, rehabbing every single day, and sacrificing even more. How can I go to an even higher level? Last year was a definitely one of the hardest years of my life in general. So many things going on, battling injuries, not being able to be myself. At times I felt like, there's no excuses. It's tough. It's part of the game, and that's what comes with it. And that's the first time in my career I felt like, it's like, and I'm week 2 and I'm on a pop tire, and it's just like I'm doing everything in my power to try to go out there and help my teammates. And at times I feel like I couldn't, it just wasn't the same. But I feel like everything happens for a reason. I look at it, I feel like I'm gonna look back years from now and it's gonna all make sense. And it's just been incredible, being out there with my teammates, being able to just fully be myself, not hesitate on any type of cut and just cut it loose. It's the best feeling on the planet. You know what I mean? I'm having so much fun out here. just being 100% and no hesitation. It's the greatest feeling on the planet. You know what I mean? Football is my life. You know what I mean? I give everything to it. So yeah, being out here and just being healthy and running around and feeling the energy and being a part of setting that standard, that's what I'm all about.
Max, what are your first thoughts? What are your first thoughts? Oh, go for it.
Yeah.
Max, you've seen some different new eras with the Raiders. Obviously, three coaching regimes in 3 years. Maybe so far, what can you identify that just feels different right now?
I would just say like it's just I don't know. It's like it starts when you walk in the building, and I just feel like Pete just does such a good job of creating a culture and an environment where you're like looking forward to being here. You know what I mean? You should. Like, we're playing the kids' game at the end of the day, but it's also the most competitive environment with a bunch of alpha males trying to take each other's heads off like at the same time. But it's one of the hardest jobs on the planet. You know what I mean? There's a reason why there's only a 0.0001% of people that can do it, because it's not normal. And Pete creates that culture, that energy where everyone knows it's hard. You're going to work your ass off. You're going to put in all the work, but you got a whole group and organization of people that all got to be on the same wavelength and going in the same direction. That's one of the hardest things you could do. That's why there's only 32 of the head coaching jobs in the world. But I think Pete just does an incredible job with that. It just makes it fun and enjoyable every day. You wake up in the morning, it's 5 a.m., and I'm fired up and excited to be in the building and get after it with the guys.
Two more. It's your first couple of chances to be out there with the rookie D linemen like Tonka, JJ, Josh Joyner. What are your first initial thoughts on them?
Yeah, they've been awesome. Honestly, just attention to detail. I think with rookies, you don't want rookies coming in thinking they got all the answers. You come in, you stay humble, be quiet, and just get to work. And I could say that truly about all those guys. Like they're not in there, acting an ass or doing anything out of pocket. They're just coming in and showing up and working and putting their body on the line and flying around and individual and doing everything they're asked. So that's all you can ask for. Truly, like those guys have been really, really awesome additions, and they have a ton of talent. I think they're going to help our team win. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. And I think those guys are coming in with the right attitude, and they're off to a great start.
Just what are your thoughts on the league not banning the tush push?
The tush push, I mean, it is what it is. I have no comment, to be honest. I could care less.
Yeah, the league also decided players can play in the Olympics. Any chance you want to throw your hat in that ring, and what do you think about NFL players going?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I definitely would love to play, but it just depends on when that is or what the time frame is. But yeah, hell yeah. Go out there, represent America, go get a gold medal. I mean, we would smoke everybody. So I think it would be a hell of a time, and I would be with it. Oh, yeah, well, then never mind. So never mind. I'm all good. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Always love hearing Maxx Crosby. Look, what did I say? He doesn't look back. He looks forward. The very first question was, how does this regime change different from every other regime? He's like, dude, I don't even want to look back. It's all about looking forward right now. Talked a little bit about his struggles mentally going through being injured last season, not being able to help the team like he wants, and battling through adversity and coming back and rehabbing and all that good stuff. But he's 100% now. What was really encouraging was how we talked about Pete Carroll and moving forward and what it takes to be successful in this league. He's seen what it takes to be successful. He's seen what happens when you don't have that attention to detail. Every single practice, every single film session, every single meeting, you have to have that mentality. You have to have intent to get better every single day, every single period, every single meeting, and every single session. That's what he says he loves about Pete Carroll. He comes in here, he makes it fun, but it's all about competition. This is what Maxx Crosby is already. And you can just almost see the relief in him when he's like, man, it's not me trying to pull these guys ahead and be like, guys, come on, let's go. Here's what we need. It's coming from above now. Whereas, not saying that these people that were in the past in head regimes weren't good or were bad or anything like that. We're not going to talk about that. But Pete Carroll is showing why he is who he is, why he's been so successful at the last few stops he's been, and why he's been at the top of the mountain for so long. And I think pretty much a surefire Hall of Famer. The thing that we need to focus on right now is, number one, Maxx Crosby is healthy. That's excellent. He's got that fire in his eyes. He's got his new contract. He's good to go. He's in the building, and he loves the rookies coming in. He loves the fire that they're showing. He loves the teammates. Malcolm Kuntz is back. This is all good stuff for this defense. Imagine having an entire team that has the mentality of a Maxx Crosby. Imagine that. When you come in and people have that kind of mob mentality, it can be bad, but it can also be good. If you show up to an organization, right, and the organization is set that this is what we need to do, this is how we compete, this is how intentional we are at every single thing that we do, it kind of breeds that mentality. And when you have that state of mind, it just breeds winning. And that's, I think, what the biggest thing is, and the biggest step up and the biggest difference. I know Max didn't want to say it, but the biggest difference from this regime over past regimes is there is no alternative. We need to win, and this is how you do it. And Pete Carroll and Maxx Crosby are leading the way. All right, guys, that's my time for today. Really appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's an excellent way to support the channel. It's absolutely free to do, and it's the bare minimum you can do to support the channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video. You guys are killing it, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Make sure to tell your friends, tell your haters, tell your mamas, tell your baby mamas, tell everybody. Raiders versus the world is the greatest thing going in Raider Nation today. All right, guys, that's my time. Until next time, everybody. Peace. Hey, Raider Nation. Thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button. Drop a comment. Make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.